Hey there, AfterBuzzers! This is Supergirl, Season 2, Episode 13, Mr. and Mrs. Mxyzptlk, here on AfterBuzz TV!
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV! And now, let the buzz begin!
Hey guys! I hope you really enjoyed that intro. It was just for you. As you know, I am Tauri Miller. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe buttons. Hit that thumbs up if you're on the YouTubes. And joining me today is a full panel of people. To my left, Stephanie Wenger.
Hi guys, good to be back with you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Stephanie Wenger.
Lex Michael.
Hi, I'm Lex Michael, and I'm all over social media at the Lex Michael.
Joelle Monique.
Hey, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique and every week at BlackGirlNerds.com.
Yeah, and womaning the chat, we got Lacretia Lyon.
Hey guys, since I'm Lacretia Lyon, you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one.
Yeah, and I'm Tauri Miller. As I said, you can find me at Tauri J. That's TAURIJAY. We have a really big, important, love-filled episode to talk about.
So much
Yes.
love. So many ships launched.
My heart.
Oh God, it's great.
It was really like. All right, let's talk about general thoughts, guys. How did you feel about this episode?
One of my favorite episodes ever of Supergirl. I'm just going to put it out there. You know how much I love relationships, and this was like all relationships.
The giant kiss at the end, guys. If you want to see the reactions, you can head over to Twitter. I snapped a quick photo of them because they were having a lot of feelings, and I felt we need to capture that moment.
Yeah.
But no, I'm with you. I mean, this episode balanced so perfectly heavy deep dives into the Superman mythology with also like a wonderful across-the-board execution of really cute, heartwarming romance stuff. Like, I almost welled up from how sweet some of these scenes were in the same episode where Supergirl fights a giant animated ice statue of Jor-El. This show is wonderful.
I feel like they went real big. Like, they were like big moments of relationships, and you're right, big, animated, full, like, crazy like special effects.
I feel like as a nerd, this was one of the most rewarding episodes because not only does it go deep into the super like girl Superman mythos, but also we're getting like Easter eggs just galore from Hamilton. I'm like, what is
The
even
Hamilton jokes.
happening?
There was a Batman '89 reference also that they threw in there.
We
that
got
made me light
historical
up.
puns. Like my whole heart was full this episode.
Yeah. What about you, LL?
You know, I loved it. The chat loved it. I have not seen a negative comment about this episode. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, it was weird that they did it a week after Valentine's Day. That would be my one little note. I was like, this is so Valentine's Day. I just feel like probably the scheduling got off, though.
Right. I mean, because Mondays are before, or I guess Monday this year was before Valentine's Day. So
that
they were
was
like,
last Tuesday.
nah, we'll wait. No, we don't need to worry about that.
It was still sweet. I loved it. There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah.
Well, maybe on Supergirl's Earth, Valentine's Day is a week later.
That's true.
Valid.
Sweet old Earth S. Earth 38? 138? Some combination of a 3 and an 8 and a 1,
Yep.
They did
potentially.
never say February 14th. They just said Valentine's Day. So
Of
we
course.
don't know.
Yeah. It's when people celebrate it. But speaking of Valentine's Day, disregarding Valentine's Day, let's talk about Mxyzptlk. Mxy. Let's go with Mxy. Mxyzptlk.
This was so much fun for a number of reasons, but Mr. Mxyzptlk was a character that has existed almost as long as Superman himself. Mxyzptlk made his debut in Superman number 30 in September of 1944 and was created by Siegel and Schuster. And it's nuts how little Mr. Mxyzptlk has changed since his original incarnation, although he's appeared a number of times, number of different versions, but he's the same fifth-dimensional imp who causes trouble for everybody.
And
I'd say
Dell did a funny Mxyzptlk and Lois and Clark. Hopefully we can find like clips.
There was
There's one on YouTube
wink,
I was
wink.
showing you.
Of course, Gilbert Gottfried voiced Mr. Mxyzptlk
Yes.
on the animated series from the 90s.
Right. I'd say the biggest change is that he's gotten more handsome over time.
Hey,
Also-
what's up?
Yeah, we also have to say, though, CW. Like,
Right.
Yes,
so-
leave it to the CW to give us a sexy Mr. Mxyzptlk.
I will take it every day. It's totally fine. It's so dreamy.
But
Yeah.
Mxyzptlk I just struggle with that. Looks more like Shechter from Breaking Bad than this dude. No offense to the lovely actor who plays Shechter.
Well, like in his original incarnation in the comics, and also to a certain extent the Gilbert Gottfried voiced version from the animated series, he's a little dude with a bald head and a bowler hat.
He's the traditional imp that you picture, which is why I thought it was interesting that they kept referring to him as an imp in the show, because it was like, it's not as far as impish as you could get, but okay, I'm down.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, he was impish in behavior, in whimsicalness. You know, as if you're British, you're an imp, right? That's how it works. He's British and he's whimsical. Imp.
Totally.
Yeah.
I bought it. I was not upset.
And we've also got Lex is Mxyzptlk from Nerdity Nerd Nerd.
I can neither confirm nor deny that I hail from the fifth dimension. I refuse to say my own name backwards on air, and I will say no more on the topic.
Zell?
Is that, I guess, what is it? Well,
Maybe like Dear XL if
Sure.
we were going...
Sure.
I mean, it would have to be like your full name. And, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Anyway,
I
I don't want to get on this. So, all right.
But no, we're talking about names too. It's obviously Mxyzptlk is a weird. There's no vowels unless you count
the Y.
You can count the Y, but weird. I was going somewhere with this. Anyway, as you were.
They brought up the Aladdin song.
Oh.
Like, we'll get save you there, right?
No, but if you grew up on the old Super Friends cartoon, like I'm sure everybody here did, you would have heard it pronounced Mxyzptlk. Which has been the source of a lot of confusion.
So there are a lot of different pronunciations depending on who's voicing, who's writing, who's like, it all depends on whose mouth is trying to traverse this terrain. Last week, I think I got a little guff because I was calling him Mr. Mxyzptlk, or Mr. Mxyzptlk, which people did not fans.
Okay, yes, it's not a canonized pronunciation.
Yes. But like it's sometimes it's super pronunciated, like in Superman the animated series, where it was like he was very specific about being like Mxyzptlk. But in this version, it's very like it's very, I would say, streamlined.
Well, they're hitting the piddle harder in this version.
Yes.
It's not, because the way I was always used to saying it was Mxyzptlk, like P-I-T, but here they made it very clear that it's Piddlick.
Yes.
Piddle.
Piddle.
Yeah,
Yes.
Kal-El Kit has made a special request that we all sing the Aladdin song.
A whole new world. Let's do it.
Bum ba-da-dum ba-da-dum bum ba. Oh wait, different one. Make way. Though I would say
It's happening. It's all happening.
I would
you
say
guys.
that it applies more in that we had this genie-like character trying to make himself out to be a prince of people. That's the segue into saying, basically, he wanted to use his powers to marry Supergirl, and so he used his abilities to show his worth the same way that Aladdin did. I'm getting there. It's
I
there.
like these
It's all
reaches.
there.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's
So
I did think like he was trying to act princely tonight.
Right.
And what's interesting is if we throw it back to Mon-El, he is allegedly what we're all believing to be an actual prince that Kara does not know yet. And so she turned down the fake prince to allegedly be with a prince that she is not aware of yet.
that diamond in the rough, you would say. You know,
but she's falling for the true Mon-El, not the because he's a prince. So
right. So Miss Mixie is like the Jafar of this scenario.
Sure, if you want to
I'm still putting it in this
if you
wrapper.
If Supergirl is Jasmine and this is Jafar, then yeah, that totally makes sense. Mon-El is Aladdin. I get the reference. It's happening now.
Yes.
You know what? I loved Aladdin as a kid. I'm really trying to get there, guys, and I'm not sure.
No,
if
it's
there.
there. It's there.
Winn
needs a pet
Abu?
monkey. Yeah,
Yes,
he
Winn
needs
is
a pet
definitely
monkey.
a boo.
Okay. Which is Jean? So Jean's the carpet.
No, Jean is the salt.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yes.
so
If anyone's the carpet, it's Jimmy because he gets walked all over.
But speaking of creepy courtship.
Yeah, apparently they don't have consent in the fifth dimension.
Apparently not. It's like...
When is that?
Or introductions, even. Hey, here's my name, and we're together now. What the hell?
Yeah, like that. It was really interesting because he was just like, "Yeah, we're together," like not even questioning it at all.
Right.
And you're like, "No, 2 people. that takes 2 to tango, buddy."
Well, which is interesting, I think, from a story standpoint, especially with us having talked about Disney, because that is, in a way, that is how some of the like main princes or like the main people started their whole quest of love. It's like, hey, I met you. Hey, I just met you,
and
this is crazy. I'm gonna win your affection, so we'll get married, maybe?
I think that there's a difference.
I'll give it to you. You can have it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm not quite. I can see where you're coming from, but I'm gonna argue.
She is not on board.
I'm gonna roll right over that. Yes.
I just think that as a romantic, you would argue that these were sweet gestures in the Disney films, where this didn't come across as sweet. It certainly came across as creepy.
See, it's
Right.
the Doppler versus Dahmer effect.
Yeah.
It's all in
true.
how it's received.
Yeah.
Well, but we
How
even
many others?
well, really,
Nice.
it is. It's all about whether or not the other person is on board with your big romantic gesture. As we saw at the end of the episode, a big romantic gesture received very warmly, and it made all of our hearts sing a little bit. I think. But it's the consent thing that I guess the limps don't got over there in Dimension 5.
To be fair, he was asking. Like, he said, I can't force you to marry me. I cannot go away and put a lot of people in danger, though.
I've seen a lot of Law and Order episodes.
There's definitely, yeah, that line is, because in a real world perspective, that could be like, hey, you know, I'm not going to force you to marry me, but I will kill your family so you're lonely enough to do it.
Romance.
That's love.
Romance!
Line in 50 Shades of Grey, I feel like maybe it is. I did not finish.
I don't know, I have
Wow.
not seen it.
I unfortunately
Chat,
watched
why don't
both
you
of
tell
those
us?
this last week, guys. Did you follow me on Twitter? You will find my thoughts on 50 Shades Darker.
She live tweeted it, and it is amazing. I don't need to see the movie because Lacretia saw it for me.
Yep. It
No,
was painful.
Mr. Gray actually has a giant statue of her uncle hold her in place until she submits. It's quite thrilling and taboo.
And that
Ooh.
statue did not look
Such
enough
a
like
sweet
Frozen.
episode. We got so dark.
Like Frozen.
But that is what the character, like, that's the feeling that the character gave off. Like, there was, and I will say, Lacretia, if you can you look up the name of the guy who played Mxy?
Yeah,
'cause
tell us that stud's name.
Like,
'cause
get to work over
I
here.
think he did a really good job of mixing this really, and I'm going to keep saying it, this really whimsical character with a really, like, semi-threatening character. And, like, he did a really good job of having it seem benign, but also really dangerous.
See,
Oh my
but
God,
that's
you
where I
know,
disagree with you in terms of Disney characters. Is that Disney characters, yes, they want to sweep someone off their feet, but that does not mean they're like, there's not the other side of it. There's not that creepy, dark, whatever he had going on. Therefore, not the
Frozen.
same as a Disney
Yes,
character.
he is the Gaston of Disney characters.
Yes.
Frozen is pretty dark, guys. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just keep throwing them at you until you like one.
So if he's the Gaston, then Mon-El is the Beast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, yes. That is the
Then
most accurate
who is the
description.
candle? Is the Martian the candle?
No, he can't be around fire.
That's true. It makes
That
no
would not
sense.
be good. He could be
Yeah, no.
Cogsworth, though.
He
Like,
could be
always
the
on
Clog.
time,
Yes.
keeping things going. Yeah, Alex would definitely be Lumiere. We'd have to gender bend.
And they're good. They're good foils for each other.
Yeah,
It totally
absolutely.
works. Yeah.
All
Guys,
right.
chat, who do you think the characters would be in the Beauty
Please
and the
cast
Beast?
every
Yeah.
Disney movie with Supergirl characters.
And
And
Winn can be
put
the
them on
cup.
the air.
Yes, Winn is definitely Chip.
Fine. I will accept that. Just literally.
Just so we can stop
Yes.
doing these.
No, we're not bringing it in. So,
What's
go
going on?
I
ahead.
found his name. It's Peter Gadiot. It's Gadiot.
He's French.
I
Okay.
know. So,
If he can
Failing
speak
my
French,
high school
20
math.
plus bonus points.
yeah.
Call us. We're here. We want you on the show.
Aw.
Yes, dude.
Okay, sweet. Well, if you're out there,
Lex, you're the
got
candle.
you.
I'm the candle?
We got that from Kal-El, Ken.
So if I'm the candle...
Okay, all right. We can bring this back again. So,
Anyhow.
It also can.
so we had a lot of really fun moments between Kara and Mxy.
Mxy.
I think I especially enjoyed the resolution where she traps him in the blah 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 of solitude,
the fortress of solitude.
the blah 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 of places. You know, the basement of sadness. All right,
Superman's alone house.
Yeah. So I really liked the way this played out because there was a chance that it could have been really silly or just a way of her kind of like flopping her way into making him say his name. But the way she did it was very clever, I felt.
I love any moment where she's outsmarting the people around her, because I think sometimes she, I don't want to say plays dumb, but doesn't always use her smarts in the best way possible, and it's fun in episodes where she really is showing that off.
What I liked most about this is I really felt they were setting us up for him to just say it in order to save himself.
Mm-hmm.
But she took it a step further and was like, I'm gonna like really catfish you here and think like, oh, you got out. Psych, the password you just typed in is your name backwards. Totally didn't see it coming.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was awesome, and as you say, definitely a great use of her intelligence. In a way that showcased she's always smart, but we never really get to see her super intelligence showcased, and that was fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nerd parts, her with the orange juice part, and I was like, that was just the ultimate, like, yeah, I got you, bitch.
I for sure saw her like pouring it, like, this is
Yeah.
gonna be great. I got my whole speech prepared. Fly halfway across the world, orange juice cup in hand, for this moment. She was prepared. She was ready.
Oh, and Ivan Soto, you my bro. Mxyzptlk was very Gabriel from Supernatural. He is the trickster.
Ah,
Okay.
sweet.
Yeah, he's also one of the con guys.
We all know that show.
On
Totally.
King's
I've
Row.
watched every
Yeah.
episode.
Is that one of the things we're supposed to drink when you mention Supernatural?
Yeah, we have these fun drinking games, yeah.
Cool. So beyond the whole marriage desire of Mxyzptlk,
Having so much fun with
I
it.
really do. I love every moment because I just imagine people at home cringing real hard.
Hey, chat, let us know how you feel about us butchering this name.
So beyond that aspect of it, we also get a really interesting jealousy storyline between Mon-El and Kara, which, I mean, it's a fun thing for them to do since they just now admitted their feelings, to have them butting heads so early in their relationship.
Sure.
Do you guys feel like his jealousy was valid?
No. I was like, it's not like Jimmy was hanging around where I would have been like, well, now we know that they had a relationship before, and the only reason they broke up was she was like, I don't think I can have both. So I could totally see like that would have been like jealousy earned, but like Mxy? That guy? And they kind of tried to save it at the end where they're like, he can give you everything. But I felt like that wasn't played up enough in the first act for me to feel the jealousy through the second to third act.
Interesting.
I feel
Lex?
that Mon-El is adorable, so I'm gonna be on his side here. Play devil's advocate.
Some
but-
bias here?
Yeah, but you know, guys, he's a Daxamite. He has admitted he is just a frat boy, not the smartest one in the bunch, so all he knows is jealousy.
That's right. Kara's latent racism came back a little
she's
bit
always
for a
like,
second
You're a
this episode.
Daxamite. And I love how he called her out on it. You're just gonna bring that up.
But I know she never even said Daxamite though. I
yes.
feel like she and the points she was making were really valid. Like I did agree when he was like, "You're kind of full of yourself," and I was like, "Ah!" Someone finally told her yes. But then, but then when she was like calling out all of his flaws, and she was like, you know, you're egotistical, you're jealous, all that. She did not say Daxamite, and she was not wrong.
Well, I have to say though, even in the argument, they have such good chemistry. Like,
Yes.
like that scene so well acted, and you want them together, even as they're having this argument. You're like, yeah, I can still like. There's still
Fight some more.
Well, yes.
so much chemistry between them, and I love the turnaround in the episode in the third act.
Yeah, I like what Billie Jean Girl 24 says in the chat. Mon-El is new to emotions.
It's
I
true.
did identify with that when he was like, I didn't even know there were this many emotions to feel. I for sure did
Yeah.
not. Really, I'm like, take them out.
He's
Boo.
confused.
Yeah, I like that we are actually getting him like processing bit by bit the emotions that he has and like the changes in his personality that he's seeing in himself. Like that moment when he was talking to Winn and he's like, well, when I was on Daxamite I just, womanized and didn't care about things, and now like he's really blooming emotionally.
Well, in that moment too where Kara, and it turns out to be a ruse of course, but where she essentially tells him, no, we don't belong together, I'm going to go marry this guy, you and I, we could never be a thing.
Yeah.
It hurt me. I felt for him. And it's like the fact that he is even in a position to feel that hurt shows that he has come a long way.
When he says, oh god, guys, I had emotions all of a sudden. You guys know I don't ship these two, but when he was like, I thought that's what we were gonna do. I thought we were gonna be a team. I was like, he wants this so bad, and this is so sweet. For a second, I was like, they should be together. And then the end happened, and I was like, no, I still don't feel it.
No, I mean, I just felt, I felt for him in that moment. And I think I even looked at you and we were like, it was that, like, painful. And then you knew that somehow they were going to turn it around. Like, I was pretty certain that by the end of this episode, we were going to get a moment like we did. But
you're my kryptonite.
I
looked at you, Joelle, when that line happened, and I watched your facial expression change, and it was almost as good as tonight's episode.
Yeah, Joelle, stop hating love.
And the other two ships are full sail for me. I'm ready to go.
Their ship name is Caramel. How can you not be behind that?
Yeah.
Like caramels?
It's smooth. This is so silly.
I'm disappointed in all of you.
I mean, I do like the way that they finally hatched out their feelings at the end. I mean, because they had been dancing around them for so long, and then they got them partially out at the end of last episode, and then they had to kind of fight through what each of them are offering the other, and it's essentially they are bettering one another by providing a different perspective. And like we finally get to that point and it builds, because we've almost kissed, we've almost kissed twice, and then we finally get that sweet lip smooch moment.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely something that we've talked about all season long, that they're not holding back on storylines, but this was something that they made the audience wait for sure. Like, this was one where the CW was like, nope, we're going to go slow on that.
But go.
I was going to say, would you say it was legend? Wait for it. Dairy.
Yes, I would.
Sorry.
You made me wait for that.
But I appreciated them holding off on this a little bit, because when they finally kissed, I was like, yes, finally, this is awesome. Look at them go smooching all over each other, more of this. Yay.
Yeah, they really went for it. They're like all over the couch. I imagine the next episode starting with them with their clothes off, being like, well, that was fun, right? Like all the furniture's broken, and like, okay, calm down, Joelle.
Okay.
I mean, I felt like the last few weeks I've been like, I don't think they need to be together. And well, yes, I think it's finally been earned. I think that they're at a place where they can actually build a platform to jump off into a relationship.
I do agree with you. From day one, I definitely shipped this couple, but I think that they did need to have those steps and build a foundation, and now I feel like you're right. As an audience, we waited for it. It was time. I would have been frustrated had this episode ended without that, but like now I hope that they actually build into a relationship and we don't have next week kind of like the demise of this, because now we've waited long enough that I want this to go for a moment.
No, next week better be them rubbing this stuff in Jimmy's face so I can be Team Jimmy again and just wait in the corner like, let's watch this implode.
It's like, look at it, James! Look!
Did we have any Jimmy tonight? I don't think we have.
No. Not even a second. Bring back Jimmy!
Look at it, and he's like, oh, and he goes like, and the shield pops out of his arm, and he covers his face with it.
Whatever. I'm sure he's like slaying. He's like working all day, being guardian at night, and in between bringing a lady home
just
every night.
Return to the back. He's like, I'm over Supergirl. Whatever.
Yeah.
No way.
He's like, I'm gonna do some garden tonight.
See, I picture him more like working. Okay, wow, please, no hoeing references over here.
What? Yeah.
But I picture picture him more working hard and just being like, I don't even care about Kara anymore. It's totally fine. I'm reading a paper. Like, I'm the head of Cat Grant's company. Whatever.
I imagine him, like, that they have a plan for him later in the season. Like, I think there's a reason we're not getting enough of him right now, either later in the season or spin-off. What do we think?
Well, yes. Not yes. I do feel like they were kind of backdoor piloting Guardian, but that's a separate thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot more love to talk about in this episode, guys.
So much love.
But before we talk about that love, let's talk about your love. Hey, guys.
I see what he did.
Do you love what we're doing here? Because we love what we're doing here.
We do.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how you can show your love? They say that sometimes you have to write something down to really say it.
They do say
Oh.
that.
And
On some planets.
what you should do is you should write it on iTunes. You should go on iTunes, write a fun comment, and while you're there, leave a review. I don't know, let's say 5 stars, just to really show your love.
If you want to express your love to Lex, the best way you can do it is filling his cup with 5 stars.
Exactly.
Right
How many
there.
stars you drinking? It's almost empty. You need some more cups. You
do.
need some more cups
My
of stars.
cup nearly runs dry.
We have one 5-star review.
Oh yeah?
What?
Yeah.
Tell us all about it, Lacretia.
Okay, I gotta get my sexy voice.
Oh yeah.
Because that's how we read reviews now.
Dang.
This show is full of awesomeness. 5 stars. Gold Gaga 25, sexy name there. Great host. Great overview of the episodes. Always funny and enjoyable. Keep up the great work. P.S. I want to adopt Lex Michael and Tauri as my baby brothers. Love them. I already named Lex as my California brother, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
My new brother.
I mean, that would make white brothers.
Wait. Are you from the 5th dimension? Can we refuse to consent?
What's that person's name? How do we say it backwards?
It is Gold Gaga 25.
I'm not even gonna try.
52 Agadilog.
Oh, okay.
I think
Well,
so.
Now
guess
we're
we're
projected.
trapped. We're trapped.
No, we're trapped. Okay. Different things are
Nope.
happening.
Yep. We're trapped. Awesome. So yes, if you write sweet things like that, and also want to adopt me and Lex,
Not as children,
go
but
on
as
iTunes.
brothers.
Yes, as brothers, as siblings.
I feel
You
like
have to
there might
take
actually be
package
something here.
I
The longer I
agree.
sit with this idea, the more comfortable I'm becoming.
Yeah, it's like there's magic.
I'm concerned now.
So yeah, if you want some additions to your family, like our AfterBuzz family, make sure to like and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that thumbs up and leave a comment below. We read those. I do, and I respond, and I do thumbs up on those comments, and it's great. And you know what else? Our producers look at those comments, and they look at those things on iTunes, and they're like, oh my gosh, the fans love them. And they give us candy. I don't know. They do stuff.
Wasn't sure where
There's
you were
a-
gonna go with that, but yeah.
There are rewards. Give us all the rewards. Anyways, so that's enough of that. The love has been shared. Love
Although-
is in the air.
We have one lovely comment I'd like to repeat. Sam O'Werdo wants to show their lust for AfterBuzz.
Aw.
So yeah, we like that.
Thank you
We
for
like
showing your lust for us.
Sure.
That's
Yeah,
nice.
Sure, always
appreciate it.
nice to hear that.
Totally.
Polite lust,
I
no
mean,
less too. Not
yeah.
that dirty kind. This is wonderful.
There are no consent issues in that.
I do not feel disrespected.
Yes. I mean, but speaking of lust, I love Lyra,
Yup.
Winn's new girlfriend.
Yup.
She is everything that we could want. She's badass. She's hot. She's vulnerable. She's great.
Kind
She
of.
has a British accent.
Yeah. She
That cool face.
She
like,
absolutely came out of left field.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, we've got love interest for Winn, but I love it. Like
yeah.
I love where they went with this. It's amazing. It plays into all the social issues we've been talking about with the aliens and the phenomenal acting.
Yeah, I had exactly the same reaction. This character came out of nowhere. I shouldn't have been able to care this much inside of 40 minutes. And yet when they're having the conversation at the restaurant, where he's essentially, where they're maybe hitting the metaphor a little hard, it's about like, we understand that this is an allegory for a mixed race couple. Okay, yes. But I'm I'm almost literally moved to tears by this scene. It's incredible how they built this relationship so effectively, so quickly. Yes, Joel, you agree with me?
Oh my god, guys, we've been getting the shaft since day one. Supergirl didn't like him, then that other bitch came along and just screwed over my boy. Oh my lord.
Banshee was awesome.
She was terrible to my boy Winn, and his heart has been trampled on for so long. And for this, like, beautiful, like, near ethereal, kick-ass character to just come out of nowhere. First of all, I like that Winn is developing a type. So now we can spot them from yards away. We're like, badass alien, here comes Winn's next lover.
Yep.
But then for it to be so sweet, and like, did he get 5 points hotter this episode? He did. You don't have to answer. It's just true.
He
Like,
did.
he's having the conversation with her. He's like, oh, like, I don't know if they changed his style or if it's just the dialogue coming out of his mouth, but he was suddenly like, man, like, he's no longer dorky, like, best friend Winn. He's like full his own person Winn, and it's amazing. And I hope this relationship is longer than the Martians. Yes. I lost it.
Megan and John.
Yes.
And I love the.
Oh, God.
I was just gonna say the chat is #alien sex in it all night.
Oh gosh,
yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
Oh
we had-
goodness.
Oh, we'll get to that alien.
I just feel like this was so, like, we had what? Maybe I'm incorrect. 3 or 4 scenes. I mean, like 3 scenes with
Yes.
him in the
Yes.
episode.
Yeah.
And to care that much, I agree with you, is incredible. And I'm really excited to see what happens. And I just, like, I loved that Winn was so open in that final scene. Like, that you saw, and I saw that he'd been hurt, as we mentioned, and that he was, like, trying to move forward with her and have an actual relationship, not somebody who used him in the way that these other women
I just
have.
had a very dark thought, which is Winn never wins. And we don't know anything about this girl. Don't hurt Winn. We'll be very upset about it.
No. She's gonna give Winn a shot.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
That's going to do it for us. Forever.
Thanks, everyone. No. One other
You guys are
aspect.
making me so sad.
That makes you okay. All right.
Yes.
One other aspect about their relationship I like is that it's so sex positive.
Yes.
Like, you
Yeah.
don't really get to see that very often. Like, I feel like the idea of sex is often kind of just glossed over, but like they get to be like, hey, we're having lots of sex and it's great. You know? Yeah.
And they do it in a very Supergirl way. Like,
Right.
it's not like, oh, suddenly this became 50 Shades. Like, it's very much like off camera, but you know what they're talking about.
Right.
It's like all in dialogue. And so I felt like, again, it fit within the show, but I agree with you.
Well, I'm wondering, because we do cut away, like, when they're all over each other, did they have sex in the alien bar?
I hope so.
Is that what happened?
I would assume
Lacretia,
so.
you're an alien sex expert. You're supposed to know.
How do they do it there?
Well, in the sex books I would read aloud at Barnes & Noble, they didn't really go into aliens too much, but I would imagine that they got all hot and heavy and they probably went behind the bars. So it's not acceptable. You know, it's not
Okay.
couth to have sex in the alien bar, but if anybody is a Futurama fan, ever since you said there's sex all over the show, I'm like, single female lawyer. That is sex. And you know, that was based on Ally McBeal, played by our former Cat Grant, who's not been in this season
That's
enough
true.
for us to block her.
Yep, it's to Canada for her. So
Nothing is too Canada for me.
well, because it's in Canada and she likes
I
living
guess in Canada would be to Canada for just about anybody who is averse to such things.
Indeed. She's not against Canada. She just
She
doesn't want to
has a
be here.
family here in LA.
Yes, with Harrison Ford.
Someone's
Yeah,
gotta be
I
around.
someone's got to
Yeah.
take his driver's license away.
Yeah.
If she goes to Vancouver to shoot Supergirl, who is going to keep Harrison Ford out of these planes?
That's
Someone
true.
needs to. Chris was like, I gotta ground his ass. He's just always up in the air, always getting in trouble.
We digress. So,
We love Harrison.
but yes, it was great. Sex positive relationship. And then we have the other sweet, really well put together relationship of Alex and Maggie. We got, it could have been such like a womp womp. She doesn't like Valentine's Day.
I had this moment when they introduced this initial conflict up top, and I went, really? This is what we're going to try and milk for drama this episode? That seems a little weak. And
Yeah.
I should have known better, knowing what show I was watching. But very quickly, my cold heart was melted once again. I mean, this whole relationship all season long so far has been incredible. I mean, like, tears.
You just cheer. I feel like I'm such a cheerleader for them. Like every scene with them, I'm like, they're so cute, and it's so nice to see both of them peeling back these layers. And you saw it tonight again with Alex and Maggie, like why they are kind of the way they are and how it works, the two of them in this partnership.
Yeah. I mean, one thing I really enjoy about their relationship unfolding, and the fans are probably going to hate what I'm about to say, but comparatively to the caramel relationship, in that one is all about two people essentially trying to change themselves to fit into this relationship, whereas their relationship, Alex and Maggie's, is very much about compromise and like really trying to engage with the feelings that they have and share with one another.
Why would people have a problem with that? I feel like that's lightly salted, Tauri. That's not heavy. That's not like, you know, we're usually like just completely at odds. And I completely agree with you. Like, first of all, lesbians, yay! But second of all, to see like that moment where Alex is like, hey, I know I've upset you, but you don't get to leave. Like, we're in the middle of a conversation here. Help me understand. And even at the end when, name's not Alex.
Maggie
comes back and she's like, you know, talking to Kara. She's like, I don't know what's happening here. I was like, you know, maybe put her first. She likes Valentine's Day. Oh, yes, of course. Maybe she enjoys this day, damn it. Like, I just love that they're willing to constantly compromise for each other and put each other first. And even when they're in their feelings, they're able to come back. And it's just... it's so sweet. Can all the they can't all be like this, then the show would be boring, but it's kind of perfect for me.
I don't think so.
Well, and once again, watching them deal with this relationship in an incredibly real and mature way. I mean, the scene where Maggie tells Alex about how she was outed, I thought was incredibly powerful. And you read about how the storyline is apparently literally saving people's lives because they're getting to see a relationship like this depicted in this way. I am consistently moved very near to tears, and sometimes all the way over into real tears by the honesty, the brutal honesty of this relationship.
Yeah, the coming out story definitely, it got me here in my feels because it's so hard, and especially after she was able to like coach her Alex through such a like great and very easy like coming out comparatively, like to know that her own story didn't have such a happy ending and that she is still to this day struggling with it. I feel like for people who are still struggling with their coming out even like years later, this is such a great story to see, because usually, you know, you see happy people or like, I'm just over it and I'm just so independent and I don't need anything else, but to see like it has an effect, it lasts.
And I hope that that's not the end of that part of the storyline, if you will. Like, I want what happened with her parents, like maybe Alex and Maggie can go, like I want more of that. And
who did she go stay with and how was she treated there?
Right, exactly. Like, I want more of that backstory, and like this felt like the opening to a really interesting and dynamic story.
Everyone became a real person this episode. It's really exciting. Like, Maggie's been like the cool girlfriend cop for like a hot second, you know, and she's been great. Like, she's well performed. Like, I love having her. But this episode gave her so much, like, rich character depth. Like, it's so exciting. Like, I would love to do an episode where we just follow, like, Maggie on the beat. Like,
oh, yeah. That'd be bad A.
Lesbian cops. Every time.
That's how words work. All right, cool. Anything cool in the chat before we move on?
Well, we do have David Elmer's, like, you know, earlier you said that there was nothing negative, but one thing he didn't like was the retconning of Maggie coming out. Like, and her getting mad and not telling Alex at first. So, and there were a few people dissenting that they didn't like that she had sort of lied about it. So yeah, that would maybe be the one nitpick that we have from the episode. I got it, but at the same time I do see their point in the fact of, like, you acted like everything was fine. Don't do that. You want to be truthful.
In the moment, I was definitely like, don't yell at Alex. She didn't. She had no way of knowing. Like, why are you raising your voice? But post-show, I feel like this is a really good character development for Maggie. Like, the idea that Maggie is not, you know, she's not a touchy-feely person. She's a cop first. She shoots first and asks questions later. Like, she's not trying to...
Bad cop.
Okay, no, Tar.
Bad cop.
She's a good cop. But I felt like this was very true to who she is and who they've been telling us she is for a very long time. So... after after all is said and done, she did it right. You know, she made up for it.
Yeah, agreed. And also, it's incredibly human. You know what I mean? People behave, even with the best of intentions, behave frequently in ways that don't necessarily make a ton of sense or are not maybe the most productive ways to address a given issue.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, of course, no.
No, not me.
Weird,
Only ever make
strict-
perfect decisions.
Right, you know what I mean? So I totally buy that this was not something that Maggie wanted to address and maybe handled the situation poorly without meaning to, because she was reacting to something that she needed to communicate. And it's hard for anybody to do that. So as frustrating as I understand it might be to watch it from a total third-party perspective as a member of the audience, I was like, oh no, that's a real person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like their relationship tonight was all about, like, embracing their past and how do you move forward from here. Like, that was their storyline to me in such a nutshell, was like, we've had these difficult moments, okay, we've made mistakes, how do you move forward? And how do we take that next step?
Yeah. Piggybacking off of everything everyone said that I agree with, and the fact of the matter is, when it was first introduced, they had just met. Alex was essentially in love with her, and also trying to come out at the same time. That's not the time and place to be like, here's my really difficult coming out story. Why don't you try it and see if you have any, like, you really want to... I think it's good that she encouraged her, because it allowed her to get to the place where she needed to be.
It shows the love, guys. She wasn't putting herself first or her experience first. She's like, I bet if you do it, you've got a great family. It's going to be totally fine. And how sweet is that? Oh my gosh.
And Maggie's a tough cookie, you know, like Jessica Jones or anybody else. So she's going to keep that close to the vest. I like
Agreed.
that.
Yeah.
I like that too.
No one is mad at Maggie here
No.
at this table.
I'm just reading thoughts.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything I missed before we move on to predictions?
I just love that all of this is in the same episode with giant CG Parasite making a return appearance. This show
Yes!
is pure magic every week. That's
We had a
it.
Hamilton pistol duel in a theater, like...
Yes.
I felt like this episode, they had so much fun with it. Like, you were like, oh yeah, Hamilton, like, okay, like, and it all kind of worked. And sometimes when shows do those kinds of odd moments, you're like, well, that was an interesting move. I don't know that I would want that again. And this, I was like, yeah, embrace it. I'm just excited for the musical episode. Like, I felt like this was like a teaser into that.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I wanted Jeremy Jordan to bust out saying Santa Fe, but if you guys haven't watched Newsies in theaters yet, do it. There you go, buddy.
Nice. Two really quick dumb references that I noticed, or maybe I'm inferring. The X-Men reference.
That's right, yes.
Where he turns the guns around and cocks them back. Really great. Also, and I don't think this is an overt reference, but like with the two guys who confronted Winn, it really felt like a cantina moment where they're like, my friend doesn't like you.
I don't like you either.
Yes, it felt very much like that.
Man, this episode had deep cuts.
Oh, yes. It was real in there.
And Davey Elmer, would like us to mention in the episode was co-written by Sterling Gates, who wrote a lot of the Supergirl comics.
Yes.
Oh.
Prolific writer, and has written a number of Supergirl books.
Nice.
Excellent.
Awesome. So I think it's about time that we move on to predictions.
AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So, in the next episode preview, we get Jeremiah. He's been saved, maybe, but everyone's real suspicious, and something happens that is big.
Yeah.
Quote, Winn, big. So what do you guys think is going to be the big thing next episode? Not everyone at once, everyone.
Everybody
Not everyone
go
at once.
get-
Because
go
they're
get
saying
Katniss.
big, and because I keep missing Cat Grant, I'm hoping that whatever it is brings her back for an episode. Bring back Cat Grant.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Predictions.
All right.
Good.
Some
Lex,
Dean
do you
Cain.
have anything?
Some Dean Cain's great.
Okay.
I feel like the big thing could just be like he finally realized I'm on a show with Dean Cain.
Okay.
Oh
All right.
no! Lex,
All
get
right.
out of
He
here.
looks right into the
That's
camera and he's like,
prediction.
you guys, it's another Superman. How nuts is this?
Jamie Perez in the chat says Jeremiah could be the next cyborg Superman.
Oh,
Interesting.
be interesting.
Like that.
I just want Terry Hatcher, like, now. I've been rewatching Desperate Housewives, like, because I'm like, now.
Yeah, when do anybody know when she and Kevin Sorbo are supposed
I
to
think it's
show up?
post-musical?
I'm thinking so.
Yes.
And we still don't know who they're playing, only that they are apparently super villainous and are a married couple?
Ooh, I
A
didn't hear the
married
couple.
villain couple.
Several people
Interesting.
speculated that she could be Lena's real mother.
Oh my.
Ooh, that would be
Trading
then
Mary
Lena's-
Alice for Susan. Yeah, Desperate Housewives.
But they said Lena's mom died, right?
That's what they say, but
That's
no one has
also
ever
true.
really
That's what
they
been
always
inside
say.
her.
Right.
Show.
Yeah.
Always
Okay,
like horrible
alright.
accident. Don't go looking for them because we don't have them cast yet.
Yeah.
No, I think we're a couple weeks off from it, and obviously we are. But I'm really excited for the musical episode. Like
Yeah.
that's where I'm at. I'm like really ready for it
Music.
at
Okay.
this point.
Music.
Yeah.
I'm going to predict that Kevin Sorbo and I think they're going to be Red Volcano and I forget the Lady Water version of Red Tornado.
Shark Boy and Lava
Yeah,
Girl.
Shark Boy. They were in the Young Justice series.
Yeah, they were.
And I think that would be a really interesting thing to do, especially because Cadmus is all about robots and androids and things of that sort. So having them rebuild the Red Tornado technology, but have it be Red Volcano and oh my gosh, chat, help me out with the
I'm looking for the lady too.
the lady
Guys,
as well.
help
And the
us.
lady. Water,
Yeah.
I
water
just
lady.
wrote
Water lady.
Water Lady and Google with Red Tornado, so.
It's yeah.
And now I'm just
I'm not
thinking
good
about
one.
Torpedo?
what a missed opportunity it would be if they don't have Dean Cain and Terry Hatcher guesting on the same episode and cross paths, at least for a second, just so they can like wink at each other and turn to the camera and be like, we're on that other show.
Just like Melissa Benoistas
Totally
and
were.
Jesse L.
Oh
Martin.
yeah.
Because
Yes.
they also were an iconic TV couple.
Like
At least,
that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
okay.
All right. I feel like we're tapped out of predictions, bros. I feel like we're out of predictions, bros. I feel like we're wrapping up the show, bro. All right. So thanks for joining us here on Supergirl, AfterBuzz After TV Buzz show.
It's like he's really doing it. He's really
Wow,
starting
yeah.
around. He's
Yeah.
really starting around.
All right. We're in between these weeks. We're here every week. Make sure to keep up with us on the social medias. So let's start with Stephanie. Stephanie, where are they gonna find you?
I just can't. But you can find me all over social media at Stephanie Wenger.
I am Lex Michael. I'm all over social media at the Lex Michael. And if you're a fan of DC on the CW on ABTV, I'm all over that too. We're here every Monday. You know that because you're also here right now. Tuesday nights, Legends of Tomorrow. I'm also do that with Lacretia over there on the couch. Hi, Lacretia.
Hi.
And then also on Wednesdays, we're talking about Arrow, me, Tauri Miller, and some other very nice people. Come nerd out. Mwah.
Nice.
Hey guys, I'm Joelle Monique. You can find me all over the internet at Joelle Monique every week. BlackGirlNerds.com every Wednesday on Book Circle with these two cats talking comic books. I forget what comic books we're talking about this week. Someone want to shout it out?
Fifth Dimension.
We're talking
gonna
about-
cover
Yeah, we're doing the
this, yeah.
mixing things. That's
Mxyzptlk,
right.
talking about Batmite, little Tauri J. Miller, everybody you love from the Fifth Dimension in the DCU.
You can also always check me out, Magicians, Wednesday, 10 o'clock. It's the best show ever. Watch it. There are others. I'm also on the Collider doing the things now. I'll be doing Schmodown, which I'm very excited about. So check all the things. Me and Emma Fife on a team. It's gonna be great.
Double L.
Hey guys, I'm Double L, Lacretia Lyon, so you can always find me at LACRETIALYON anywhere on the internet since there is only one. Anywhere on the DC, I pop up, and I even do Marvel now on Legion. And then that Book Circle thing.
Oh.
Wow.
Yeah, they already said those.
And I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J. That's TAURIJAY. And on the other shows that Lex named and other things that I'm on, one could say I'm the genie of AfterBuzz TV.
boy.
So, we'll see you next time here on AfterBuzz TV. Until then, have a super week.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Jay Miller.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.